You know them?
We're on Ches Lamed Aleph. So Hani Mili Bigula. That a sukkah that has a diameter of 4 amos is going to have a circumference of 12. But Hani Mili Bigula. That's if you have a circle within a square. Aval berivua boy tfei. But if, for example, it was, you have to square, like let's, for example, you'd make a square around the circle, and that's the kind of sukkah you would have. Well, there's more area, because remember, there's that area in the corners between the square and the circle that you have to take in consideration. Kama maruba yosar la'igul. What is, when you look at the area of a square over a circle, it's yodim, it's revi, it's 1/4 more. So then why do you say you need 24 people? Because you start off with 12 and it's a quarter more. So b'shitzer sagi, 16 is enough. Hani milibigol nafik nigo rivua. That's regarding a circle that's been placed inside a square. Avla ribua the nafik nigo igula. But if you put the square inside a circle, and then you have a circle around it, and what is the area of a circle more than a square in that form? Ribua the nafik nigo igula boit fei, because mishum morsha the karnas, because of those corners. And michte kulamsa rivu amsa utre chumsha b'lachsona, if you use Pythagoras theorem, if you have an amma by an amma, it's going to be 1 2/5 at the diagonal. So you have in Cain, it's a little less than 17. So how could he say, how did Rabbi Yochanan come up with 18? Lo Doc. He wasn't exact. So Aimer, I mean, Lo Doc Porta. It comes out to a little less than 17. Rabbi Yochanan said 24. But Lo Doc, I mean, Aimer, I mean, Lo Doc Porta, Tuva mi Amina, but he's not going to go from 17 to 24. Initially, the Havamina was each person takes up 1 amma of space. But the truth is it's tlosa gavri betarte amsa. The real dimension that's needed is 3 people take up 2 amma. So we go down from 24 to 16. Kamavlu shitzer. And anan shivser, we need a little less than 17. So that's Lo Doc. He rounded down. Lo Doc l'chumra. But that's, I understand if you're going to be machmir, but l'kulam Lo Doc, comes out that it's a leniency, you're not going to be exact. We go back on our answer, and it's not 3 people in 2 ammas, it's 1 person per amma. But in the sukkah, we're just talking about we're not talking about the people are there. So you end up with 18. So it would have been a little less than 17. It's round up to 18 as a chumrah. That Rabbanan de Kesari, the Amilo Dayan de Kesari, the judges in Caesarea, Amri Igula de Nafik Meguriva River, that the circle that's placed inside a square, the area of a square is a 4th greater. And Rivur de Nafik Megui Gula, when you place the circle around the square, the difference in area is palga, but velohi, it's not that great. Their mathematics were wrong. Amar Rav Levi Mishum Rav Meir. Shtei sukkos shel yotzim zu lifnei mizu. You have two sukkos that are end to end, and the people who fashioned clay items would work in such sukkahs. Hapnimis, the inner one, is not a sukkah because he dwells in the inner one a whole year, and a sukkah has to be a temporary dwelling. And since it's a permanent dwelling, chayev is b'mezuzah. Hachitzona, the outside one, is something he just uses temporarily. So that could be a good sukkah. P'turman amezuzah. Freit the Gemara v'amai tevi chitzona k'bei shar pnimis. Let the outer sukkah be like an entranceway to the inner one. V'tis chayev b'mezuzah. A beit shar requires a mezuzah. Gemara answers b'shem delo kviyah. So since he doesn't, it's not a diras kva, we don't put a mezuzah there either. Torah Rabbanan. Ganvech. This is a mnemonic for sukkahs goyim, right? Let's say a goy built a sukkah. Sukkahs noshim. It was meant for women. Sukkahs behema, a shed made for animals. Sukkahs kusim, which are like goyim. Sukkah mikol makom kshera. These sukkahs are kshera as long as uvavachri mesuchechas kilchasa. We don't care who the sukkah was built for or uses it, as long as it's got the bright schach, that it has more shade than sun, and it's a sukkah for mitzvah. And what does it mean? Michael chasa Rav Chisda v'hu shasol etzel sukkah, because the schach, the covering has to be made to provide shade for the sukkah, not for any other reason. Mikol makom lasui mai. When it says mikol makom, what does it come to include? Lasui sukkahs rakvash. What's that? The Torah about sukkahs rakvash, sukkahs royim, right? The shepherds would dwell in these. Sukkahs kayotzim, the workers that would dry figs. Sukkahs burgenin, the people who would watch fields. Sukkah shomer person would watch fruit. Sukkah mikol makom in all these cases kshera. Ulevad sheitu mezuchechas kilchasa. That's to have schach according to halacha. My kilchasa. Rav Chisda v'hu shasol itself sukkah as long as it was made to provide shade. Now the mikol makom lasuyim mai lasuy sukkahs ganvach, to include these other goyim noshim behema kusim. Now hi Tana. The ganvach, the brisa that learned the brisa of the ganvach, alima le ganvach mishum dekvi, that these sukkahs, you might think would have a problem to be a sukkah because they're relatively permanent. And even though the builders of them, women, goyim, are not chayv in sukkah, and therefore it's more important to be machshir such sukkahs. The kotonim mikol makom lasui rakfosh, the lokvi, and that's why he added the mikol makom came to include the sukkahs royim and kayotzim, because they're not kavuos. Sometimes the shepherds are there, sometimes they're not there. And v'haitan the rakfish alimale. The ones who learn in the Brisa rockfish, because they think rockfishes are more obvious because shepherds are Jews. The people that watch the fruit are Jews. So they're bar chiyuva. So it makes sense that those sukkahs would be kosher. Goyim, noshim, because it's the mitzvah sasishas manzama, behema, they're not chayiv in sukkah. So it's so it would be more of a chiddush in those cases. Okay. So tomorrow we'll learn at 8:00.
Ernie, can you a sukkah, does it have to have any kind of kavana, or if let's say if it a wind comes along and creates a sukkah by itself, can a guy use it without having to have
The walls,
it-
yes, the schach has to be done l'shem sukkah.
so how is
Like,
all this done?
Like you notice many times, people put us. They go to a hotel, they
Right.
see a patio, they put schach on it, and it's kosher.
So it has to be
Walls
the
were
same.
built l'shem